So hey guys, as you can see here, I'm just doing the Ninja World War. Not much. Honestly, this video is... I'm gonna try to keep it short because there's not really that much to it, honestly. I just found some things that were semi-interesting and I just thought I'd share them with you. Number one being is that tobirama is actually rather good in the Ninja World War, even in his purple card stage. Well, I mean, obviously, not obviously, but you would actually need to have a, what do you call it? A purple card, tobirama for this to work. You would also probably have to have like a Itachi for this to work, honestly. Well, the way that I'm just doing this right now, I'm using him as a debuffer, I guess. Because see these debuffs over here, this shield and this like kunai right there. Those are actually his debuffs. They do a surprisingly large amount of damage, and uh, normally they're not supposed to. Don't get the wrong idea. You're not going to get a tobirama and out of nowhere you're going to be dealing billions. That's just not going to happen. You're more than likely going to need diamond tobirama for that. But if you do have his forehead, his mask or forehead protector, I'll show it to you in a second, the item. But if you do have that item for him, his debuffs do substantially get more powerful. And while he never truly overclocks all the way up to where he could potentially be, quite honestly, he does get quite a nice amount of boost here right now. I'll show you. So we'll let that happen. Let that happen, and you'll see just how much damage he does in a second. So we're gonna slow this down. That was Sasuke with his debuffs. So I think that was 10 million a pop. Let's see, 104 million. Okay, yeah, there you go. 104 million each debuff for 104 million, I think, yeah. I think if I'm seeing that right, yeah, 104 million each debuff for well, for the second Hokage. The reason that's happening is because I have his forehead protector. Shit, I'm gonna have to skip this. Hopefully I don't die. Yeah, I failed. It's fine. I got decently for far along. But yeah, the reason that those debuffs were dealing such a large amount of damage is because of this here, the Hokage armor tier 3. You can obviously get it to tier 4. I just don't have enough materials to get it to tier 4, but it does have the same bonus, damage bonus that the tier 4 has. Possibly the tier 4 having a little more damage bonus. But yeah, it enhances the damage of the kill and barrier jutsu. Those are the little debuffs that the second Hokage has. Now, like I said, normally those debuffs could more than likely get up to just having that little what you just saw Sasuke do, where his damage was just kind of broken. They do have the ability to get all the way up there, but unfortunately for that to actually happen, you do need to have you probably need to have, probably, I'm saying probably because I'm not quite sure if my theory is correct, but you probably need Tobirama to be basically at gold at the very least with his skin, the second Tobirama Senju. So I mean, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. As you saw, probably just pause the video at that point. 104 million worth of damage for each debuff. Now, the battle was coming to an end, so obviously this has to go through overclocking. It would be a lot easier if I had a purple card Hashirama, but unfortunately I didn't get the summoning contract from yesterday. For those of you who don't know, I consumed basically 16k, 16.8k, and bought 210 Uzumaki clan keys, and I did all the possible tries I could get for one day on the zombie trials. And I got quite a few Hashirama souls, I got quite a few Tobirama souls, I got quite a few Broken Mask, a lot of Toad Sages, basically another Minato, as you can see here. 201 Namirikaze Minato fragments. I got a lot of things, but the thing that I was really hoping for, I did not get, which is that thing that I was hoping for, that I was really hoping for, was the summoning contract. Which is what you need for, creating Hashirama Senju. Had I gotten the summoning contract, I would have just waited until today or tomorrow and just like bought another 210 tries just to get the rest of the broken mask that I need to create to create Hashirama. As it stands right now, if I do like, you know, tomorrow buy 100, another, what do you call it? I recharge, let's say I recharge $100. Let's see, hang on, let me do the quick math. Let's say I recharge $100 tomorrow. The reason I might recharge $100 tomorrow is because tomorrow I do get paid. So yeah, that's why really. Say I recharge $100 tomorrow, I would get 10 Uzumaki clan keys just right off the bat. And I believe it's 45 Uzumaki clan keys up until 3,100 gold, which is obviously $100. So let's do the math quickly. 45 plus 10, 55, and then 210 minus 55, and then times 80. I would only have to consume 12k, 12.4k to get all of the Uzumaki clan keys for, you know, 210 tries, and then I would just go ahead and go at it. Or I'm probably gonna just go ahead and go at it, and that's a private conversation with Obito. Shout out to Obito, I guess, features in my video today. Hopefully it doesn't say anything too much, because then I'd have to restart this video, and that would suck. But anyways, yeah, 210 tries, and like, hopefully I'll get the summoning contract tomorrow. If I don't, oh well, but if I don't, I'll still get, yeah, everything's fucking expensive. And yeah, there you go. But anyways, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so even if I don't get the summoning contract, worst case scenario, I just get a bronze Tobirama. Best case scenario, I do get that purple card Hashirama. So either way, I'm up either way, no matter what. So the reason I want to do 210 tries, you know, right off the bat, instead of just like using what I have right here, is because I feel like the more tries you do, the luckier that you get. Sure, there's a possibility that that's just like, you know, in my head, and you know, I'm insane or something. But I don't know. I feel like, you know, the more you try, the more chances you have of like doing it. I mean, it's just basic probability, I think. Is it probability? I don't know. I'm saying random shit that I don't quite know what I'm talking about. Anyways, but yeah. Also another thing, I'd probably be getting like a silver Gara just for that, recharging $100. I think you get like 2 Garas, and I only need 2 Garas to get to silver. I don't plan on getting gold. If I get him gold, awesome. And fuck yeah, let's do it. Gold. Sweet. But if I can't get him to gold, fuck it. It is what it is. But yeah, that's really about it for this video. Not much else to it. I'm just re-equipping all this crap to Hinata, because she's essentially naked right about now, and it's not classy. It's not classy at all. Black Rod Madara, so that's 13.4, and I think I went up a little bit in CP total when it comes to the total wise. I'm gonna change that. Put that on her. Where's the crow? Crow's on him. Okay. The reason I put that on Hinata is because I want her to have as much CP as possible. The more CP Hinata has, the more CP the combination card Fight for Love has. So yeah, that's it. 310. Okay, that's good enough. But as I was saying, what do you call it? Yeah, so I mean, either way, I kind of just come up on top. I might actually, what I might do, really, I might not even recharge it. I might just go ahead and buy like 100 tries, and if 100 tries, I get the summoning contract, then fuck yeah, I'm gonna do the rest of the 110 tries. But if I don't, it's like, I tried, you know, fuck it. And yeah, Obito's like, ha ha ha, yeah. What did he say? Classy. Very classy. Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, these lines have like these awesome stickers. They're pretty awesome. So like Wink, Jiraiya. There you go. That's appropriate. Anyways, also another thing, it's a double gold recharge event. I know some of you were hoping for a triple gold recharge, but it's a double gold recharge, so I mean, all it really changes is how much you're gonna have to recharge, I guess, because some of you, if you're starting off from 0, you're gonna have to recharge more than the 30,000 originally. If you're not starting off from 0, you're gonna have to recharge at the very least. You're gonna have to have at least 20,000 already, saved up if you're gonna be doing from the beginning. Because if you don't have tobirama, you're gonna want to get the multiple shadow clone. It's fucking awesome. Uh, but yeah, that's about it. For anything else, really, let's see. You'll probably just see me messaging Opito every once in a while here. Um, Not weird, I suppose, but you know. So let's see. You're gonna take off the volume quickly, cause media, and there we go. So let's see. Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. We're gonna have to, lightning round this bitch. We're gonna get Kakazu fragments, and will it help me beat 19-11? Kakazu probably won't help you, Aizoa. Simply because of the fact that, well, you're looking for DPS. Kakazu is not known for DPS. If you have all of his items, he's gonna be fucking really, really powerful when it comes to DPS. But if you don't have all of his items, you're more than likely not gonna be doing a lot of DPS. If anything, you may be doing a lot less than what you possibly could be doing with other cards, because at Diamonds, when he gets his debuff skins, his mask skins, but you obviously are not gonna have him Diamond as of that moment. So no, he's probably not gonna help you. How should I take on the four tails? I beat the three tails. Four tails, all you have to do is DPS the fuck out of him. Blast him, like do as much damage as possible. Honestly, level 75 Naruto with the strongest father and son skin leveled up all the way to level 75, with I'd say a good seven, let's say 200k worth of ninjutsu attack, could easily solo the four tails. You should make a video where you recharge gold and train the cards to gold. Jonas, when it comes to recharging, you actually need to input your personal information. That's kind of why, I don't know if you're new or not. Well, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, awesome. That's kind of the reason why if my app freezes up, I have to stop the video, because whenever I open up the app, it forces me to put in my information, and that's just really inconvenient overall. I mean, and then when it comes to recharging, I would have to basically show my PIN, which that sure as hell is not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to show my bank account information once again. That's sure as hell not gonna happen. And yeah, everything just gets really complicated. And just know, I mean, there used to be a time where I could just pause the video and go on as nothing happened, but when I tried that, the videos were coming out really choppy. The audio was bad. It would sometimes skip. Some of my words would get jumbled up, and yeah, it was like a lot of people didn't like that. So yeah, no recharging. Sorry, man. As to trading cards gold, it's not that hard, man. Just get the same cards. I know it sounds douchey to say it that way. Um, But yeah, I can see where you're coming from. If I could show you how to recharge and such, but you have to realize that at this point, I've played long enough where I basically don't have to recharge it if I don't want to. Me trying to get Tobita Hashirama during this event is just me being impatient. If I wait a good, I don't know, 100 days, literally 100 days, and do every single one of those days in Ninja World War, I get to as far as I did right now, I'm gonna have basically 1k per day, and at the end of those 100 days, I'm gonna have 100k worth of gold just saved up, and I could easily just spend that on like the next Tobirama event after I have such an obscene amount of gold, or Hashirama event. Really, like I said, I don't particularly have to recharge at this point. It's just me being impatient. So I mean, that's kind of why I don't want to recharge, simply because this game is a money sink. It really is. So yeah, sorry if I went off on a tangent, but yeah, I even I'm trying to get Susanoo Kakashi Shadow for the Kakashi event because I'm a free-to-play player and I hear it takes quite a bit of gold. If you're really gonna get Kakashi to gold or diamond, say wait until the event. Not only because of the fact that um, every once in a while in the events they do give you some training materials as consumption rewards. Um, the reason also being is because, well, you get most of the items. If you have like 50k worth of gold saved up during an Obito slash Kakashi event, it's usually Kakashi and Obito. But if you have 50k worth of gold saved up during Kakashi event, you're gonna get all of his items. You're gonna get his mask, all of his tier 4 items. And that's what really makes the card powerful. The passives sure as fucking hell help. Like trust me, they help a lot. But it's really the items that makes Kakashi really, really powerful. So yeah, I would recommend waiting until you find the event that's right for you. Now, should you recharge if the event comes and you don't? Not. I mean, should you consume if the event comes and you don't have enough gold to get all the items? If you feel like you're gonna be satisfied with the items you're gonna get, then go ahead. But if not, just go ahead and wait. I know it sucks to wait, but sometimes it's just better to play the waiting game, especially since you're a free to play player. Menraj, since Naruto and Sasuke have a combo card, do you think that they will eventually be an event for both of them? If so, how much gold consumption do you think it would take? If Naruto and Sasuke have a combo card, which they will do eventually. Don't get me wrong. I'm not laughing at that. What I'm laughing at, it's more than likely going to be an obscene amount of price. Like it's going to be really, really pricey, more than likely. Um, it could get to the point where they just auction it off, like with Zetsu, Gold Madara, and such. But I kind of doubt it. Now, as for the consumption event, usually when it comes to Sasuke or Naruto, to get all of their items, they usually hover around the 75k, 50k range. So I mean, that's kind of what I would foresee for them to be. That you would have to consume that much to get those things for Sasuke or Naruto. Is Danzo worth grinding? Duck. Sorry, I'm not gonna put in the 4 and the 7. I assume the 4 and the 7 are silent. Is Danzo worth grinding? Yes and no. Yes, if you're a newer player, then yeah, man, go for it. It's more than likely worth your time simply because you're a new player. Any card's really a good card. No, because he's very limited in his use. He kills himself constantly, like he has suicidal tendencies. Um, and yeah, the only skin that he gets, that the skill actually, the only skill that he gets that it's part of his unique skill setup that doesn't kill him is only during his event, and even then you have to have him at diamond. Um, I swear to God, I had a Donzo here. Where is you at? Let's see. Here we go, Shiromura Donzo. The only skill that he gets is this one, the reverse symbol sealing one style. Um, if you use his other ones, like the fire annihilation, it's not very good. Very little damage. But the four symbol seals does a decent amount of damage, but it basically kills him. Yeah, see, causes ninjutsu damage to all enemies and has a chance to silence all enemies at the cost of user's life. It kills himself. He kills himself. Now, usually this can be negated by the skill called Inazami, but that really only brings him back to life with like basically 1 HP, and he's a one hit KO very easily. So no, I wouldn't recommend getting him. Although, if you do some tweaking, you can actually put in the Kotomatsu Kamishisui passive on him, which is really useful actually. It's a very good passive, but you do need him diamond to get that bloodline, which is the Mangekyo Sharingan Shisui. Um, what it does, it just use right eye to release Kotomatsu Kame continuously to single target. Can make one enemy chaos continuously lasting for 5 rounds. Immune chaos, restraint, silence, and dizziness after equipped. At level 102, it gives you 24k worth of damage. That usually translates to about 1.2 million, possibly 3 million worth of genjutsu damage towards your enemy, depending on how much genjutsu attack you have. 83k HP, 32k dodge, and 32k genjutsu attack. So it's a very good skill. It's just that it's meant for Shisui, not Danzo. But either way, if you can get it on Danzo, it would make Danzo a little more viable. But at the same time, like, you don't have to grind him out. If I recall correctly, whenever his event comes, they're basically giving him away. I have like 7 Danzos up in my other server 11 count. I have like how many is it? 5 or 6 danzos? I could probably gold them right about now, but I'm just too lazy to do so. So I mean, yeah, just kind of wait for his event. They usually give out root secret letters, and when you open those up, they give you like fucking fragments for Danzo, but each fragment drop is like 15 fragments, and you can get up towards like 20 or 30 worth of those drops. So I mean, yeah. Um, Haha, I'll stop attacking your Ultimatina. I call bullshit on that. If you're Hokage, I call bullshit on that. Um, Look at this. Look at this. This is not supposed to how it's supposed to be. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really bother me because if I want to, I could just do this. Go into my CP team. I don't even have to get up my CP team all the way up. It's just stronger than Hokage's naturally. The only one who can really challenge me would be what's his face, um, Obito. But then again, Obito's like a monster. But I mean, I don't particularly mind. It's just that it bothers me a little bit because it really cuts you in your honor points, and I use my honor points constantly for toad sages because you can never have too many toad sages. Can you buy a tobirama skin? Nope. Here, I'll show you. Quick proof. And I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna be asked again, but here, fuck it. This function is not available. The only way that you can get it is through having a gold tobirama, unfortunately. So let's see what else. Does the Kamui Lightning Cutter on Obito and Kakashi stun lock the same way as Mangekyo Kamui? Yes and no. It can stun lock, but it's quite literally stuns. It's nearly 100% effective. Most of the time, that's what it does. It stuns, as in dizziness, with that little circle thing on top of the icon on top of the card. What Kamui does, the Mangekyo Kamui active skill does, which is the level 90 version. I'm gonna be so there's no confusion. I'm gonna be calling the level 90 skill Kamui, and Lightning Cutter the level 105 skill, just so there's no confusion. Now the Lightning Cutter, like I said, it only stuns, like that does that little spiral thing, while the Kamui is a little more versatile because it doesn't stun. It doesn't even stop the enemy cards from moving, but what it does, it makes their attacks null and void, as in they never happen or they don't register. So the enemy card could be dealing potentially 5 billion worth of damage, but if he has that icon on him, he's not going to be dealing a single point of damage on your card, even if he hits him like 50 times. As long as he has that icon on his card, he won't be able to do any damage. Now, the flip side between the pros and the cons between the two, between the two skills. So the pros on the Kamui skill, it's a level 90 skill, so you can use it with both Kakashi at level 90 silver and Obito at level 90 silver. The cons being is that it doesn't always take effect. Sometimes it has holes where it just doesn't take effect every once in a while. If you're truly unlucky, it could be half of the team who doesn't get affected by the debuff, and you can die easily, especially in the Ninja World War. But that can usually be covered by Kakashi going ahead, or Obito, going back to back and basically covering each other's holes or weaknesses. And that sounded kind of wrong, and I apologize for that. Now, for covering each other's backs, there you go. That sounds better. But for the Lightning Cutter, now, pros of the Lightning Cutter, it's a level 105 skill, and it does more damage. That's just a given. It really does quite a bit more damage. I think at least 1 million or 2 million worth more damage than the Kamui skill. Now, the cons for that, it's the fact that it does stuns. Actually, that's a pro and a con. Now, the reason it's a pro is because it does stuns, and because it does stuns, that means that the cards won't attack you. Now, when the Kamui when the Kamui skill is released, even though the attacks are null and void, as in they won't deal any damage towards you, your cards will still react as though they did do damage or they're going to do damage. So skills like the passive skill Susanoo on your Kakashi can be triggered, and if it's triggered, well, you're fucked because it breaks the stealing cycle. When Kakashi Susanoo is triggered, he can't do any active skills. He can't do any unique skills, which can be very deadly in Ninja World War because it breaks up the chain of the Kamui's going back to back if that happens. Now the con for it being stunning, Once again, because it's stun, there are cards that are immune to that because of their passives. Cards like Mu with the Hoey technique, stuff like that. Because they're immune to stuns, that means that you're not going to be able to stun them. And this can be bypassed because of the fact that Lightning Cutter does have the ability to seal passives. Problem being is which register first? Does the seal passive register first and allows you to stun the card when you're not supposed to? Or does the stun register first and then the seal passive stops the card from being sealed? Um, so yeah, that can be a little bit of a con, but I mean it does more damage, so technically it is better on the long run, especially in the Ninja World War. Uh, but like I said, if there's certain cards that are immune to stun, then you're kind of fucked against them. You're still going to be dealing an insane amount of damage if you hit them, but they're not going to be stunned, which the active Kamui, while it won't do as much damage, they will still be affected by the debuff that the active Kamui does. So hopefully I explained that. If it's a little too long-winded, I'll just ask again and I'll try to cut it down. Zombie Hunter 3256. Who should I train, Gaara or Kakashi? Not bronzing and stuff, just to their last form. Kakashi has a little more versatility because he's able to stun the front row 100% of the time. Whereas Gaara, although he does have the ability to stun and he does provide shields, he doesn't have a guaranteed stun. So I mean, you have to kind of just look at it. Do I feel lucky? Is essentially what you have to ask. Now, if you're gonna get both of them, I would recommend putting in Kakashi and then Gaara. Gaara going ahead and stunning anybody in the back row if he gets lucky enough, whereas Kakashi will always stun the front row no matter what. Um, so who should you get? Kakashi first and then Gaara. Yeah, it seems like Zombie and Fire Red went at it. So cool. You guys work that out. More. And okay, so I don't have any of Oro's event skills. Should I use Gen or Nin? Assuming that I have all of his equips at tier 4, which would be better for the war. Just use Genjutsu, even because if you have all of his equips to tier 4, you're gonna have more Genjutsu attack. If you have a Hashirama, a purple card Hashirama with the Hobi technique in front, then go ahead and use the, um, what's it called? Not the tobirama. Go ahead and use ninjutsu attack, which would mean you would use the snake hands. But if you don't have the Hashirama, then go ahead and use Genjutsu attack because once again, you're gonna have more Genjutsu attack, especially if you have all of Orochimaru's items. Keep it up, bro. Maybe some giveaways. Rosen, I can't do giveaways. I'm not rich, dude. Like, I'm not funded by anybody. The one time that I did get a gift from one of my fans, quote unquote, I guess, it was $100, and he said it was a Christmas present for, just been helping him out, which was awesome of him, and I say thanks. It's not like I'm asking out for cash, but he did that. That was awesome of him, and thank you. His name's James, and thanks, dude. But yeah, I kind of just do this all on my own. Really, it was thanks to what do you call it? It was thanks to Scott that I even got the banner or even the thing up and running. The little icon that shows my profile pic. So I mean that's really thanks to him. Otherwise, I kind of just do this on my own. I'll be completely honest. I never expected this channel to even grow to be half as big as it's getting now. Which I mean, I know it's still not figuratively, it's still tiny compared to some other channels, but I did not expect it to get this far, quite honestly. I kind of just thought, oh, maybe I'll get like 50, 60 subscribers and when I'm bored, I'll post a video or something. And now I have like 600 something and I post a video nearly every day. So yeah, it's a lot more than I thought it would be. But that's the thing though. I can't do giveaways because I'm not rich. Even though I spend a lot on this game, I'm really not rich. I don't have that much cash. So yeah, sorry. I can't do giveaways. I think somebody else was asking a long time ago, but I still can't. Um, and I was reading through Maddie, what he said. God bless Maddie. Um, if you're religious or anti-religious, sorry, that's just a habit of mine. Um, but yeah, Maddie, like, kind of brings up a fair point. For me to go ahead and give you or do a giveaway, I'd probably have to get a lot of personal info for your account at the very least. I mean, I could probably do an exchange through PayPal. I could send like a iTunes card or something. But once again, like there's just way too much hassle into it. And again, I'm not rich. I don't have that much cash because I'm by myself here, guys. I got Scott for design, and that's about it. Like, yeah. So yeah, no giveaways. Sorry. Would it be possible to overclock with Hashirama with Orochimaru, vice versa, or at the same time? So if you want to overclock Orochimaru, you have to have Hashirama go first with the Hobi technique. Hashirama himself will be overclocking. He just naturally overclocks. Now, the reason that the Hobi technique is useful is because it provides a 15% bonus to the whole team. Now, with the 15% bonus on the whole team, that means that the whole team can overclock once Orochimaru releases his curse seals. As long as the percentage bonus is on the card before Orochimaru releases his curse seal, and it can be reapplied every 5 or 4 turns, you're gonna you're gonna be able to overclock that any card. As long as they have ninjutsu attack, any card will be able to overclock. Now, some cards will obviously be able to overclock a lot better than other cards. Like for example, Naruto card with a million ninjutsu attack will obviously be able to overclock a lot better than a Haku and Zabuza card with maybe, I don't know, 200k worth of ninjutsu attack. Obviously because the Naruto has a lot better ninjutsu attack, but also because of their skills. The Naruto card has these debuffs that can deal stupid amount of damage, whereas the Haku card only has its unique skill, which while it is rather powerful, it does like 3 million worth of damage at its best, it's still not as good because of the debuffs. So yeah, any card can overclock as long as you have Hashirama up in front with a passive Hobi technique. And you have Orochimaru with the tier 4 ring, yada yada yada. Hi Luis, how can I get the second passive certificate? Fire Red, I'm sorry dude, but like, to get the second passive certificate you have to recharge by force. Now for Gaara, it's a significantly simpler ordeal to do. Basically you just have to go ahead and recharge $60 or 1,900 gold. You're gonna get Gaara's secondary passive, and you're gonna be fine. Everything's dandy and good. Now, for Tobirama, you're gonna have to recharge 10,000 gold, which is more or less $320, $330, you know, right around there. And you're also gonna have to consume, because it does take up 20,000 worth of gold, 20k worth of gold. So yeah, so on top of recharging, you have to consume 20k to unlock his secondary passive. So yeah, he's a very pricey customer. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I dropped my phone. That's what that noise you heard. I think that was it. Well, Maddie, you're right. But the only card that really works for the ungodly amounts, and by ungodly, I truly do mean ungodly, is Itachi. That's the only card who does that. For him, you have to use the passive certificate and 20,000 gold. For Nagato, same thing, certificate and 20,000 gold. If you don't believe me, here you go, 20,000 gold. It's for Itachi, who you have to consume 50,000 gold. No certificate, just 50,000 gold. But that is an insane amount of gold. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Little lackluster, I think. Nah, it was okay. Or at least I hope it was okay. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you don't. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.